Hello and welcome, my name is Charlotte and I am the High Heel Stitcher here on Flosstube and on Instagram, and this is Flosstube number, I believe, 72. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see and you stick around, and if you are returning, thank you very much for coming back and spending a bit of time with me. It's been about 2 weeks since my last proper Flosstube. I have been doing the daily Flossmas videos, but I know not everybody watches those, so I am back for a normal Flosstube video. I do have a little bit to show you, but I don't think it's going to be too long. So let's get started with finishes. So since my last video, I've had 2, maybe 3 finishes. And I say maybe because I will explain the third one. So the first finish is Great White Shark by Happy Little Mouse. This was originally supposed to have like bubbles and like seaweed and coral round, but on the last few days of stitching this, I got really angry with it because I was making really silly mistakes and I had to keep frogging him out. I think he's got loads of fluff on him. He still needs an iron, but I do have the fabric to fully finish him. I think he's come out really well. This is stitched on 18 count black Ada. I believe it's just a Swiger. Oh, if you want, yeah, come on then. Let me show you the back. I know a lot of people do like the back, and that's his backside. So so he is going to be turned into a cushion. I was supposed to do it this weekend, but I just did not have the motivation. So that's the fabric that I've got to go on there. He's going to be an envelope pillow rather than a zipped pillow because it's a gift for a 4-year-old. I thought an envelope cushion would probably be better for him. So that was finish number 1. I think he only needed a few hundred stitches to have him finished from the last time, but I will have put, hopefully, will have put a before picture in for you. My second finish was one that I finished Saturday just gone. So what was that, the 13th, I think. This was started earlier in the year, and it was one of my 33 while 33 starts. I believe the shark was also a 33 while 33 start, but started late last year. So he was one of my 2024 starts. So next is Jigsaw Dolphin. This is a chart by Kim at KLT Charting, and the fabric is an 18 count Ada in the colourway Pompey Tides, also by KLT Charting. I just love how that has come out. This is using all the called for DMC. Since you last saw him, he has had 1,041 stitches to get him completed. I haven't yet decided how this one is going to be fully finished, but it may be a gift for someone. Again, not yet decided. So there's that one. Now my maybe finish, maybe not finish is this. It's my Bella Filipina Stitches and Lots of Tea freebie from the 2024 Bella Filipina retreat. So the last time you saw it, I had stitched the cup and the butterfly, but I hadn't done any of the back stitching or the beading. I hadn't touched the frame and I haven't done the writing. Now, where I say this might be a finish, it might not be a finish. I have now fully stitched the back stitching, and it does have a few beads. I don't think you can, oh, you can just maybe just see them there. So I've done all the back stitching in the butterfly and on the teacup, but I haven't obviously done the writing or the border. If I stitched the border, I think I worked out that I am going to have probably about an inch border for framing on the top and the bottom. The sides are okay, but the top and the bottom is going to be quite tight, and I don't know if I will be happy with that. I know that you can stitch fabric on for framing, but I actually quite like how it looks at the moment. All the gold, there is some gold in the top there and in the bottom. That is a petite treasure braid, I believe. I think it calls for Krynic, but I swapped it out for a petite treasure braid. I don't think it's that one. I don't know, but I'm confident it's a petite treasure braid, not a Krynic. So yes, at the moment I'm calling this done. This is finished, but if I decide later down the line, as long as I haven't fully finished it, I may go back and do the border. And I wasn't planning on doing the writing anyway. I was potentially looking at swapping that and doing a different saying. Yes, it is really, really cute. And the beads, I normally attach them with some DMC using the same colour as either the bead or the fabric, but this time I used invisible thread. And all I will say is I am quite glad that there was only 9 beads. I did not enjoy using the invisible thread to stitch them on. There is a lot more beads in the border. If I do decide to do that, I will stitch it on with DMC, not the invisible thread. So this is using a 28 count 28 count even weave in the colourway Solent Stitchers Retreat, which was the 2009 retreat exclusive by Kim at KLT Charting. It's really, really cute. I really do love this one, and it was quite a nice stitch. It's just, I was too eager when I started it and didn't measure the fabric properly. So it's a 13 by 17 piece, and I think I needed like a 10 by 10 or something like that. So it fit one way but not quite the other. So yes, that is probably going to stay in a project bag until I decide to fully finish it or stitch the border. So those are my finishes, potential finishes. I've only worked on, well, I've worked on 2 other projects. One of them is downstairs. It's a full coverage with 200,000 stitches in total in it, and I did 131 tent stitch. So that one's downstairs. I'm not going to show it. You can't see any difference, but I'm hoping to get a good chunk done in the next few days. So when I show you in my next Flosstube, there will be some decent progress on that. So the only other project that I have worked on is Anubis by Quartonian Creations, and that got about 1,000 stitches in it, and it means that I have done a whip goal, and that is as far as we have got. So the last time you saw it, I'd had all this done and some of the dark blue in there. So I've finished the dark blue, stitched all the light blue, stitched some of his arm, and then I've moved on to his head. This is an 18 count Ada in the colourway Merlot Moment by Kim at Kelty Charting, and this is big enough that there's going to be 4 on here, which is good because Maria has currently released 4 of the gods, the Egyptian gods, so if she does release any more, I am screwed because I have no more of this fabric. And it was a limited edition from 2019, so I don't think there'll be any left. So I absolutely love how this is looking on this fabric. If you're wondering what this is, I don't have a clue. I pulled it out yesterday and there was that mark on it. So I tried wiping it off and it just smudged it some more. So I'm not entirely sure what it is. I am going to get like a damp cloth to see if I can just rub it and see if it will come up that way. If not, I am going to have to rip out those stitches and restitch, which will be a bit of a pain, but it's really noticeable and I'm not happy that it's there. So if I can't get rid of it, it will be ripped out and restitched. So yes, I really love how this looks on this fabric. And yeah, I have a hanging thread, which I don't normally like leaving, but I did the 1,000 stitches that I needed to do for my Whip Go challenge, and then I just went, yeah, I'm moving on now. Okay, that is all the stitching I have to show you. Let's move on to plans. So in December it was stitch the Whip Go goals. I have done, so I stitched 1,000 stitches on Anubis, which was a goal. 100, and I think I needed to do 161 on my stitches and lots of tea, which I did that. It was all back stitch, and then the 9 beads. So I've done that whip go challenge. Then there was I needed to do, I think, about just under 300 stitches on my jigsaw dolphin to get a whip go done, and then it was to finish. Another whip go goal was to finish jigsaw dolphin. So that's 4 whip go challenges, whip go numbers now updated, caught up on those. I am currently working on Osiris, which is a pain-free crafts chart. The artwork is by Laurie Prindle, and I need to get to 2,500 stitches on that. I've done, when I picked it up, there was only 500 on there done, so I need to do 2,000 10 stitches on Osiris to get that whip go challenge done. I did 131 yesterday, so just another 1,869 to go. Hopefully I can get most of that done this week. It does go quicker where it is 10 stitch, and I'm hoping to find a nice big block of colour that I can just whip it out really quick. Then there is a few more whip go goals that need to be done, but I don't know if I will be able to achieve them. One of them, they're all pretty much get 2,500 stitches done on a 33x33 project. The ones that are left, I literally may have just put in 1 or 2 threads, so they've got pretty much all those 2,500 stitches to do to get that whip go goal done, and I just don't know if I'll get that much done on it. So I will finish Osiris whip go challenge, and then I am going to move on and do, I think, the 1 down 3 across, which is a long dog sampler, and it's a Christmas themed one. This one I started it on a red fabric. It did not go well. The fabric, absolutely horrible, absolutely vile. I will not be stitching on it. Again, it is a stitchy ferret fabric. I don't know if it's just I just got a bad dye batch or whatever, but it's not a nice fabric to stitch on, so I gave up on it. So that's as far as I got. Yes, it is 3 different greens because I couldn't decide which green I liked on it, and it was just really horrible to stitch with, to stitch on. My stitches are, they're just not neat, they're not even. I don't know if you can see that, I don't think you can, but it was just, yeah, I was just like, I was really upset because I really wanted to do it on a red fabric. I'm really sorry if you can hear Dara downstairs. I've closed the door now. So yeah, I don't know, I really wanted to do it on the red fabric, but I knew that I would not be able to do it, to stitch on this for the amount of stitches there was. So I decided to swap and invert the colours. So instead of doing it on red fabric with a green boxes, I would do it on green fabric and do the boxes in red. The letters I would still do in like a metallic gold. So yeah, and this is as far as I got on this. This is an 18 count fabric by Kelty Charting called Mistletoe Wreath. It's one of my favourites, and it's really, this one is really nice to stitch with, but you can't see the gold. The red shows up really well, but you cannot see the gold on there. It shows up a little bit better on camera, but it's not really showing up in real life, not as much as I wanted to. So I tried back stitching the letters in black, which just didn't look right. So I wasn't happy. I was like, oh, maybe I'll rip out the gold and I'll do it in like a white or maybe a silver. I don't know, but see, that shows up really well. It just doesn't in real life. You can see the black fluff from where I did it. So I was just like, no, I can't. I'm gonna put it down and see. And then Daryl, because I was getting really angry and upset, and Daryl said, well, why don't you just do it on a different red fabric? I said, red is really hard to dye. It just comes out pink. There is some dyes out there that have done it, and that he said, well, what about the same fabric that you stitched your Mermaid Mr. Burns on? That's just like a plain red. And I hadn't even considered just doing it on like the plain red Zweigart fabric. So I did. I went online and I brought just red Zweigart fabric. Which is there. This is full of my 18 count. Ada. I am stealing Jen's plans for 2026, which is Stitch from Stash. Yeah. Let's see how long that lasts. But that is a very good idea considering how much I have, and with no new starts next year, I don't need to buy any more fabric. Anyway, so I have 18 count, just Christmas red Ada. That's probably better. And I will restart one down, three across on just this plain red Ada, and I will be happy. I'm gonna be really happy with it on there. It's a Christmas red, it's Zweigart, so I know it's a good fabric, and it's 18 count, which is my favourite fabric to stitch on. So that is the plan. I'm going to find a green thread for the boxes. I am going to find a metallic gold for the lettering, and then all like the animals, the snowflakes and things like that will be stitched in white or B5200 or a white equivalent. So that is the plan, and if I can get that whip goal done, I will probably call it quits there on my whip go challenges and just be like, yeah, that's as much as I'm doing. I won't get a full whip go completed board. I think I have got 2 lines at the moment, which is, I think, the most I've ever managed to get this in all the years that I've done it. This is the best year that I have. I am not doing whip go next year. I said that this time last year, and then I ended up working out how to do it. But with the no new starts and what I want to achieve next year with my Middle Earth map, pandemic, and my partridge in a pear tree, I don't see how I can work in a whip go board as well. I don't want to overload myself like I have in previous years. So we're going to go with no whip go next year, but I am doing stitch from stash and I am doing no new starts. Anyway, that is the plans for the rest of December. I am going to draw my January focus for a finish project to stitch on. I'm not going to be stitching on Middle Earth map, pandemic, or partridge in a pear tree. I am just going to stitch on this focus for a finish project because January is so hectic. I'm not going to get a lot of stitching done, but if I can manage the 2000 in January on this focus for a finish, I will be happy. To get any stitching in January, I will be happy. So if you didn't watch my last, I don't think I showed you in my last Flosstube, but I did a Flosstube extra where I was doing my plans for 2026. I brought these little treasure chests and I've put in a project in each one like this. So stitches and lots of tea. That one's obviously, that one got taken out because it's finished as far as I'm concerned. So I've picked the 10 closest projects to a finish and I've put them in these little chests. The chests are in this bag and I am going to pick one a month to go, that is my focus for a finish, to get at least 2000 stitches done on it that month. So for January, mix them all up, I'm going to go for that one. So my January project is to rule them all. I think Dara will be really happy with that one because he wants this one finished. I'm really happy with that. Even though it's black Ada using Etoile. The chart is by Circus Stitches and that is what it looks like. Oh, it's not black. Oh, it might be. I don't know. I don't know if it's black or like a slate grey, because it seems a little bit lighter than the other one, my other black. So that is as far as I've got on this. So I've got ring them, ring two, bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. And then I've got some of the Elvish around the side. So I think this has got about 3,000 stitches left. So yeah, I haven't stitched any of the top 2 lines, and I've stitched ring them, ring 2, bring them all together, and in the darkness bind them. So I've done most of the writing. I've done none of this top Elvish, and I've done some of this bottom Elvish. So that is January's. Stitchy goal is to get 2,000 stitches done on this. Is this black, or is this just like a really dark grey? Where's my shark? Yeah, I think that's a dark grey. I think that's yeah, slate. And I think it's 20 count. Because those stitches look a lot smaller than the shark. Anyway. That is my January goal. I'm really happy with that. I don't think 2,000 stitches will get that to a finish. I think there is about 3,500 on there, but I can get that one down. If I can get it finished, then that would be amazing, but I'm not going to stress out if I don't. If I can just get the 2,000, I will be happy. So, and then that will go back in the bag. It won't go back in the bag until I know if I'm going to finish to rule them all. If I do finish it, then I will swap it for, I will put in round 2. It will be swapped out for Big Tree, which was an exclusive from the Big Stitch last year. So that will go there. So this is staying out for now. I'll put him up there. So I know that that one is the one that's been called. Right. That is my plans and my stitching. We will move on to haul and then life update. Yes, so literally I only have 2 pieces of haul. I know I have been doing my Flossmas videos and opening 2 advent calendars, but I'm not going to show that today. I am just literally going to show you the 2 things that I got. The first one is the next instalment of The Year in the Woods number 2, which is number 7, which is the Cardinal. I think he is really cute, but I don't know if I am going to stitch him or not. And then the only other thing that I got, apart from some DMCs for the shark that I got that I ended up not using. But they can't travel alone, so I did buy some fabric. This is probably one of my favourite ones that Kim has ever done, and it's called Sea Mist. So this is 32 count, it's a 13 by 18 piece, and it's just, I absolutely love it, and it's sparkly. So it's showing up quite grey. Oh, there we go. It's like a pale green with a little bit of grey, but there's more. Morty managed to get the lighting right with a brown paper bag, but I don't think I have a brown paper bag. Let's see if I can do with a piece of white fabric. Maybe. No, that's just washing it out. What if we go red? Let's see if the red can tone off of it. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. You can see the green a little bit more. So, yeah. Oh, but yeah, absolutely love this fabric. And this month's limited edition is Seascape, which is, again, one of my all-time favourite fabrics. I haven't yet purchased anything. Purchased it this month. I need to know how much money I've got left after the bills and that. So yes, I do have a little bit of Seascape from when it was the last limited edition. So it's like this really beautiful blues and dark greens. This is a piece of 16 count Ada, but I do really want it in, yeah, just look how stunning that is. Absolutely stunning. I do want a piece of 18 count, and I can't decide if I want 32 count even weave or 28 count even weave. I definitely will be getting the 18 count. I just need to decide between the 32 and the 28. But yeah, I mean, just, oh, it's green, absolutely stunning. So anyway, yes, so that was my haul. Life update. What has happened in the last couple of weeks? I had all my hair chopped off, I think. I don't think, sorry, I'd had that done in my last video, or if I did, I can't remember. So it was really long, and I had about 6 inches chopped off and my layers put back in, and it's so much better. It was getting way too long, and I was getting really angry and frustrated, so I chopped it all off. I had so many split ends. Yeah, so Grandad is doing okay. He had a bit of a blip a while, like, I don't think I shared this in my last video, but he had a bit of a blip, and we weren't sure if he was just dehydrated or if he'd had another mini stroke. It seems he was, because he was getting confused, and that and we were just trying to make sure that he was just keeping the fluid intake and all of that, but we do think he was just a little bit he was dehydrated, because once he upped his fluid intake, he did start to remember things that he'd said that he'd forgotten. So we do think it was just dehydration rather than a mini stroke, but he seems to be doing a bit better now, so fingers crossed. We had the local Stitchers Christmas meal on Friday. That was really fun. It was really good. We had a good laugh, really good food, and the meal that we had was amazing. So I had the soup to start, which was a sweet potato and red pepper soup. It was really nice. And then we had turkey Christmas dinner for the main, and then I didn't have a pudding. Oh, that's what happened. I got the flu. It's the first week in December. I came down with the flu. Absolutely vile. Daryl came down with it on the Friday. He was coughing and all that. Over the weekend he was just sleeping, and I was just like, oh, what's wrong with you? Oh dear, that's not good. If he didn't go to work on the Friday, which is really unlike him, he will go, even like when he absolutely screwed his back over and he could barely walk, he was still at work the next day. Probably shouldn't have been, but he was at the work the next day. So for him to wake up on the Friday and go, yeah, no, I am not going to work today, I knew it was bad. But I am I am not sympathetic at all. At all. It's very much, there, you can stay away from me. I gave him some tablets, I gave him some space, I made him drink and sleep, but I was very much, you stay away from me. I am not a very good caregiver. So Dara came down with it on the Friday. I developed a cough on the Monday. I felt okay, but I developed the cough on the Monday. Tuesday I woke up and I felt absolutely terrible. Absolutely. I think that day I was awake for maybe an hour and a half max. I could not keep my eyes open. I just felt terrible, and I was couldn't eat. I was just sleeping all day. Just the cough obviously was bad. It was just horrendous. I spent Tuesday and Wednesday in bed feeling like absolute crap. Thursday I pushed myself and I did go to work. It was the wrong thing to do. Friday I did the morning at work, but I had to go home. The only reason I did go to work on the Thursday and the Friday was because it was my VAT returns deadlines had to be done by the Friday, so I needed to go in and finish them off. And then as soon as that last one was done on the Friday, I was like, right, I'll go home, I'll go to bed. I got home and I slept until the next morning. It was bad. So we were we would normally pick up the dogs on the Friday, but we didn't. We picked them up on the Saturday. It still felt rough. I felt better than I did do, but I felt really rough. I hadn't eaten for like 3 days. Oh, flu was horrible. I thought I had flu a couple of years ago, but I think that was just a really bad cold. There was nothing like this for a week after. Every time I ate, because I could barely eat, but every time I ate I felt so sick and rough. I had to go and lay down and like lay on my side for an hour just so I wouldn't throw up. So it seems, touch wood, I woke up yesterday morning which is the first time I felt like there wasn't something just sat on my chest. And that was, what, 2 weeks after. So I started with the cough on the Monday. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks today is when I first developed the cough. So it's taken 2 weeks to feel like I'm not gonna just fall over, keel over. So yes, came down with the flu. Helped with the weight loss. I lost 3 pounds that week, but yeah, it was a struggle, and I do not wish that on anyone, because that was horrible. So yeah, I got hardly any stitching done that week. So yeah, the Monday was the first, I think. Yeah, Monday was the first. I came down with it on the 2nd, and that week was just gone. So I hadn't had a flu jab this year. I am debating it for next year, but I do know a few people that have had the flu jab and it has made no difference. So we'll see how I feel next year. So yes, flu jab, Christmas meal, which was amazing. And yeah, there's not a lot else that has happened in the last couple of weeks. So right, I think that is me done. I've waffled on for long enough. Oh, that was it. Kim at KLT Charting has done a Flosstube. So it's been, I know she does the monthly live videos where she shows her fabric, but this is an actual Flosstube where she's shown her stitching. So please go check her out. She hasn't done a Flosstube in years, so it's really good to see her back. Please go check her out. Yes. Who else have I have been watching a lot of Flossmas recently. So Mad Morty has been doing Flossmas, Jen Stitchy Corner, Stitchy Bug Sarah, Cheesecake and Cross Stitch I've been watching, and Lizzie Fisher has also been doing a Flossmas. She's been doing it I think weekly rather than daily, which I think is probably the way to go for next year. Because as much as I am enjoying doing the daily videos, when I came down with the flu, I missed like 6 days. So that should have probably been the, you should do it once a week sort of thing rather than daily, but it is what it is. So yes, Crafty Emmy, that was the other one. I've also been watching. I've almost caught up. Today's the 15th, and I think I have just finished the 12th of December, so I'm a couple of days behind, which should be caught up this evening. So yes, and on that note, I will say goodbye. Thank you all very much for watching me. If you have got this far, please put a little bird emoji in, and I will hopefully see you in a couple of weeks for my end of year whip parade and end of year review. So I will see you all very soon, and I hope you get some stitchy time in. Bye.